So, according to Dwayne Johnson, he's been trying to make Black Adam a reality for over 15 years. Now, I don't know if they just didn't have the right talent, if they didn't have a script in development, or maybe they had one in development and they had to do it all over again. Maybe they didn't have the budget for it. I don't know what the deal was, but for whatever reason, he's been trying to make it a reality for over 15 years. And now it's here.
Crap, mega crap.
This movie is straight up trash. Like, I'm not gonna sugarcoat it, this movie was trash.
You know how much I sacrificed?
And they had a budget of over $200 million, like, give or take. I don't know where that money went and how it was spent. I don't know if they overpaid the crew, which, I mean, I seriously doubt. I don't know if they overpaid the actors, which I seriously doubt, because I don't know anybody in this fucking film. The only two actors in this entire film that I'm familiar with are Pierce Brosnan and Dwayne Johnson. I mean, there was Viola Davis too, but she had like a very minor role. But those are the only two actors in this entire film that had a major role that I'm familiar with. Everybody else, I couldn't tell you their names, where I've seen them before, what movies they've been in, nothing. And being Dwayne Johnson and being that he's the leading actor in this film, I'm assuming he took the lion's share of the budget as far as the actors go. Now, I don't know how the contracts were negotiated, but I'm assuming he took the lion's share. Other than that, I don't know where the money went, because this movie is horrible in just about every single way. For one, the story was bland, it was boring, the pacing was very slow, the hero had no personality, the villain made no sense, and I just left feeling like I desired more than what I got. And with Dwayne Johnson films, my expectations are not that high. I mean, Dwayne Johnson isn't the best actor. Every time I watch his movies, I feel like I'm just watching Dwayne Johnson in whatever film I just happen to be watching. But he's not the best actor. He's not going to win an Oscar for his performance, but he's a charismatic actor, which often compensates for his lack of acting ability. Now, Chris Hemsworth, when he was trying to portray Thor, he was doing a very bad job. Like, it was very cringy. But then in Thor Ragnarok, he put himself into the film. So then I felt like I was watching Chris Hemsworth, which was far more entertaining, but it didn't feel like I was watching Thor. He didn't convince me that the person I'm seeing on screen is Thor. That's basically the same way I feel with Dwayne Johnson. But in this film, Dwayne Johnson actually tried to act. He actually tried to become Black Adam and try to be this mysterious, not give a fuck, I'm not afraid to kill anti-hero. So gone is the charismatic actor that I actually find entertaining, and instead I get this hero or anti-hero with no personality whatsoever. And it shows every time he speaks. Every line that came out of Dwayne Johnson's mouth, there was no personality behind it whatsoever. And it's not just Dwayne Johnson. There was plenty of bad acting to go around everywhere. The person who did the best job was Pierce Brosnan. But other than that, cringy fucking job by everybody else. And it wasn't even entirely their fault, because the writing was also just very bad. And they kept trying to force humor where it wasn't necessary. So it was a combination of both things, bad acting and bad writing. Visually, there was a blatant overuse of CGI. I think the city that they were in was CGI. The action sequences were CGI, which is understandable, but the CGI wasn't even that good. And then the villain himself at the very end of the film was entirely CGI. And it wasn't like Thanos, because Thanos is also CGI. But it looks smooth, like they try to make him look realistic, like he could actually exist right in front of you. They did not do that in this film. It was so obvious that he was CGI. They didn't even bother to hide anything, and it was just really bad. And the way they depicted like the speed of Black Adam was pretty bad, because they would just slow time down, and that's pretty boring and unoriginal. Like, hey, I can't make him look fast and look good at the same time, so I'm just gonna slow everything down because it's easier. Like in Eternals, you have what was her name, Makari, the speedster Eternal, and she's moving very fast, but they're still having a fight scene while she's moving fast. They did a very good job at that. I understand it doesn't always have to be that way, but it's like they were just being lazy with their CGI. They didn't care at all. So yeah, a very blatant overuse of CGI. It did not need that much. I would have preferred a lot more realism in this film, but it is what it is. Then there's the main villain of this film, who's the last descendant of this king tyrant who enslaved this entire city, and he's justifying his greed for power by using history that happened 5,000 years prior to the event of this film. That doesn't make any fucking sense. Now, they could have had some sort of alluring effect from the crown, kind of like the ring from the Lord of the Rings, but instead he's using 5,000-year-old history to justify what he's doing in the present day. That's stupid, but whatever. 15 years in development and this is what we get. 15 years, but it feels like it was rushed and they scraped the bottom of the barrel and just took whatever they had at that particular time and put it together as quickly as possible to start making money. But they had 15 years in development. Now, I don't know what struggles they may have gone through in order to make this film. Maybe Hollywood just made it impossible for them, or people didn't want to be involved with the project. I don't know what happened. All I know is that it was really boring, uninteresting, a waste of 2 hours of my life and a waste of my money. But let me know if you feel like it was a waste of your money, if you agree with me, or if you disagree. Please let me know in the comment section as to why. Please hit that like button. It does help me so much to put my content out there. Subscribe if you have not already, and I will catch you in the next video. See you then. Bye bye.